how to get your team to do things differently with just one simple message so you don't have to keep reminding them over and over and over again. Welcome to today's episode. I wanted to share with you an insight that I have had. I sent my team 3 messages last night with about three different things. I'm like, hey, can you fix this? Can you fix this? And can you fix this? Now, you might not think that that is all that special. You might be sending messages to your team all the time. The difference with this versus the other ones was that I was focused on one particular thing, and that was making sure that what we changed, what the instruction was about the process. I wasn't telling them to change. I was telling them to change the process. Because when I change that process, then every time it gets done, that change is still there. I don't have to remind them anymore. Now, you do need something in place, and that is to run your team by processes. If you're running your team by trying to manage people, then this will be very difficult. People will forget. People will go back to what they were doing before. But if you have your team trained to run on processes, then when you want to make a change, it's easy. It's one message. It's like, hey, what I want you to do is add this process. What I want you to do is to change this process. That process gets added, that process gets changed. You could even delete a process and say, hey, get rid of this process. I don't want this to work and this to be in there anymore in this system. You get rid of the process and that's done. Now, from now on, it will always be done that way. Even if your team member leaves, even if your team member is sick, even if they get headhunted, whatever happens, because you're not dependent on your people. You're dependent on your processes. This is why businesses that work on their processes, work on their systems are worth so much more, because they're not dependent on people. People are difficult. People are hard to manage. They've got to remind them. They've got bad habits. They get distracted. There's all sorts of problems with people. Processes, though, I can work with. Processes you can work with, and you can get things done consistently so that you get consistent results. And that means a great experience for your customers. That means a great experience for your team. They're like, how do we do this? You're like, it's written there, follow the instructions. It's written there, follow the instructions. How do we do this? It's written there, follow the instructions. And you want to make changes? It's one message. Let's change the instructions. And then they know to use the instructions. They're not coming to you to ask how to do things. This is a critical distinction. If you want some help about how to set this up for your business, head over to systemio.dev, pop in your name, pop in your email address, go grab the training that I put together for you around how to do this. I hope you got a lot of value out of today's session. I want you to think about how you can start to implement this in your business. How are you going to start making change, not to your people, but to your processes? All right, thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode as we continue this journey into the power of systems to create results. I look forward to seeing you then.